I love it. We're making another cocktail in honor of the five boroughs in New York. They are Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, which we made last week, Staten Island, and this week we're making the Queen's cocktail. Weirdly enough, in really the cocktail Bible called the Savoy Cocktail Book by Harry Craddock, he died, was buried in a pauper's grave. He put this book together, but had nothing to show for it, sadly. Somebody took advantage of him. Don't let anyone take advantage of you. In this book, there is an apostrophe in the name of the cocktail, Queens, as if it were the Queen's cocktail, but it's not, because right below that is Queen Elizabeth cocktail, which calls for different ingredients altogether except for gin. So we are going to not use the original recipe in this book. We're actually going to use a recipe that was adapted for this cocktail. And again, Queens is one of the five boroughs in New York. It is one of the most linguistically and ethnically diverse places in the world. It is the largest borough by area in New York, home to the US Open, really the birthplace of jazz. Louis Armstrong lived there for several years. It is one of the two inflection points for rap and hip hop, the other being the Bronx, which we made a cocktail for in honor of last week. But this week, it's all about Queens. So here it is what you need for the Queen's cocktail. You need, again, London dry gin, because this cocktail goes way back, where in a time that gin was really what they had to use. Gin, bathtub gin. London dry gin is what we're going to use. And again, Bombay Sapphire is considered the gateway gin for people who say they don't love gin, because it's a little bit more floral. It, yes, has the notes of juniper, which gin is known for. If you don't care for either one of those things, use a more modern gin and you might be happier with the results. You're also going to need, just like last week, sweet vermouth, rosso, rouge, if you will, if it's a French vermouth, and dry gin. Uh, the original recipe calls for a half slice of crushed pineapple, again, a la Harry Craddock in the Savoy Cocktail Book, a half glass of, let's see, gin, and then a quarter glass of French vermouth, which would have been Dolin, like I have here, or a quarter inch and or a quarter inch of sweet vermouth from Italy, which we're not using today. We're both using the French varietals. And you need pineapple juice. I found this Dole light pineapple juice, a fan, saving on calories. And because we don't have any fresh pineapple, this is a great thing to have in your bar. Some dehydrated fruit, make them in all shapes and sizes, including pineapple. Here we go. So let's put this little cocktail together. For this recipe, the adapted recipe, what you're going to need, whoops, always a mess, is, let's see, what are you going to need? The adapted recipe. You're going to use 1.5 ounces of your dry gin. And if you know, you know why I screwed up the top of my Bombay Sapphire. 1.5 ounces, which is usually the big side of the jigger, and that is the top of not only my shaker, but my jigger. So here we go. We got 1.5 ounces of that. And then we just want 3/4 of an ounce of the sweet vermouth, but 1/2 ounce of the dry vermouth. So since we have that in hand, let's go with the dry vermouth first. Put these aside, out the way. 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth. Voila. And then for the pineapple juice, we're going to go with the light variety. What did I say? 1 ounce of pineapple juice. It's just not enough pineapple juice in cocktails, but I'm sure pineapples were a little harder to come by back in the day. So here we go. Put that on top. We're already chilling our coupe, as some like to say. Give it a good shake, 15 to 20 seconds. If you've got a good shaker, your hands won't freeze off from frost bite, but you also will be able to hear the ice kind of breaking down. Whew. Always a good workout. Pour out the ice. Fresh ice always, every time you're making a cocktail. I'm excited to try this. Like I said, I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood for some pineapple juice. Okay, and then we're just going to float our dehydrated fruit on the top. That'll be pretty. It does. It looks good. I'm very proud of that. Okay. Kind of hard to see, kind of hard to see, but here we go with a Queen's cocktail. Let's try it. Smells like pineapple. That's great. That's really good. Somebody outside of a New York bar should bring this one back. That's delicious. Enjoy the Queen's cocktail. 1.5 ounces of London Dry. You're going to use 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth, half an ounce of dry vermouth, and then 1 ounce in its entirety of pineapple juice. And then you just want to use a pineapple garnish, whatever you got. But again, these dehydrated fruits are the best for when you have neglected to go to the grocery store and get all your ingredients. Cheers to you. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you guys so much. And next week, I do know what we're going to make. Very excited about this cocktail. Next week, we're going to make a cocktail that was served on the Titanic, its final night, its final maiden voyage and final voyage. It's called punch. It's a punch, and that's what we're going to make for you to enjoy during your happy hour. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you so much. Cheers.